Did you know that colon cancer is the second leading cause of all cancer-related deaths? And that it can creep up on you with its lack of symptoms? In fact, colon cancer is nicknamed the silent killer for that very reason. However, there are a few signs that you might be at a heightened risk of developing it. One is your size. Studies have shown that men who are obese can have a 30 to 70% higher risk of getting it. And here's where it gets even more interesting. These numbers are amplified drastically if you consume a lot of red or processed meat. In fact, regularly consuming processed meat can increase your risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. But it's not just cancer that can wreak havoc on your colon. Diseases like irritable bowel disease can cause life-threatening complications, and up to 15% of the population suffers from irritable bowel syndrome, which also causes serious problems. Okay, before you get too frightened, listen to this. I'm going to share some exciting, easy tips to help you heal your colon, starting today. So listen closely, and be sure to share this with anyone who you think needs to hear this message. Number 1, probiotics. Your colon is an incredibly important part of your digestive system. It not only absorbs nutrients and water, but it plays a major role in clearing out waste from your body. And there's a little helper that aids your colon with all of this. That helper is bacteria. I know, you probably think of bacteria as something harmful that causes diseases and needs to be eliminated. But your gut actually requires a certain number of friendly bacteria to aid in the digestion of your food and maintain the overall health of your colon while fighting off bad bacteria. Without friendly bacteria, your digestive system is going to run into trouble. And by trouble, I mean serious trouble. For instance, research conducted by scientists at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg Kimmel Institute for Cancer Immunotherapy identified 2 bacterial species that appear to lead to the development of colon cancer. Said simply, these were bad bacteria. While research is still underway, the findings suggest that by increasing the number of good bacteria in your colon, this could help chase away such harmful, disease-causing bacteria. But how do you do this? Enter probiotics. Probiotic supplements are made up of friendly bacteria and can have a hugely positive effect on your health, effects that include lowering your risk of colon cancer. Listen to this TED Talk in which Lorne Hofseth, a professor in drug discovery and biomedical sciences and director of the University of South Carolina's Center for Colon Cancer Research, talks about the relationship between gut bacteria and colon cancer.
Now, when there's a buildup of these bad bugs, this causes dysbiosis, and dysbiosis drives inflammation. And chronic inflammation in your colon is really bad. Over the course of years, if chronic inflammation isn't tamed, it will likely lead to colorectal cancer.
If you're eager to guard your gut against this, I highly recommend you check out Seed Probiotics. Seed is a microbiome science company that is involved in a lot of cutting-edge research around the microbiome, and their probiotics reflect that. I'll include a link in the description to these in case you want to order or learn more. Number 2, vitamin D. Pop quiz. What vitamin can you get from the sun, egg yolks, and some types of cereal? The answer, vitamin D. Vitamin D is a superstar vitamin when it comes to overall health, and that certainly applies to your colon health too. In fact, studies have shown that a higher vitamin D intake is associated with a significantly lower risk of developing colorectal cancer. One study that showed this was published in the journal Gastroenterology. It was spearheaded by scientists from the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, among other institutions. In other words, it was led by the rock stars of the research world. What these rock stars found was that consuming 300 IU of vitamin D per day, which is about 3 glasses of milk, was associated with approximately a 50% lower risk of developing young-onset colon cancer. Plus, they even found that higher consumption of vitamin D could delay disease progression in those already suffering from colon cancer. As if that's not great enough, Dr. David Cheletsky, a gastroenterologist, talks about another large study that examined the link between vitamin D intake and colon cancer.
This took a bunch of researchers, over 50 researchers around the world, and approximately 12,000 patients. And what they found is that individuals who have lower levels of vitamin D below normal have a increased, up to 30% increased risk of developing colon cancer. And individuals who have a higher level of vitamin D in their bloodstream above normal have a statistically significant reduced risk of developing colon cancer.
While I should be clear that these studies only showed association and not causations, they are pretty promising. Number 3, yoga. Quick disclaimer before we dive fully into this one. There's a lot more research that needs to be conducted on the relationship between yoga and colon health, but what is available is pretty exciting. Yoga has been around for thousands of years, and for good reason. It has been shown to relieve stress, reduce symptoms of chronic diseases, and even help people stop smoking. Science has also indicated that there may be some key benefits yoga has when it comes to colon health. In particular, yoga seems to improve function of the gastrointestinal tract, which includes, you guessed it, the colon. Some studies, for instance, have shown that yoga relieves symptoms of debilitating colon diseases like irritable bowel disease, or IBD, or syndromes like IBS. Another benefit of yoga is that it can reduce inflammation. This was demonstrated in a 2018 study published in the journal Biological Research for Nursing. Okay, how does this relate to the colon? Well, remember what Lorne Hofseth said in his TED Talk.
Over the course of years, if chronic inflammation isn't tamed, it will likely lead to colorectal cancer.
That's right. The degree of inflammation in your body appears to play a direct role in colon health. Again, more research needs to be done on the effects of yoga on your colon. However, a reduction in inflammation has literally zero downsides. So roll out your yoga mat and give it a try. You don't have to be good to get results. I promise. Number 4, omega-6 to omega-3 ratios. Many researchers believe that the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids in your diet is a key indicator of your health. Let me explain. Most people's diets are full of omega-6 fatty acids. These are found in high quantities of oils like sunflower, soy, and corn oils. On the other hand, most people do not consume enough omega-3s, which are found in foods like fish, walnuts, and flax seeds. For optimal health, nutritional experts recommend that the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids be in the range of 2:1 to 4:1. Ratios that are higher than this can lead to poor colon health and even colon cancer. A study published in the journal Cancer Research and Treatment, for instance, looked at the diets of over 48,000 women over the course of 20 years. What they found was that those who consumed lots of omega-6 fatty acids had a higher risk of developing colon cancer. Dr. Omar Laguna, an oncologic surgeon at Miami Cancer Institute, talks more about what research has shown when it comes to omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids.
I think you need to have some kind of moderation. And even in inflammatory bowel disease, they've looked at studies where they've tried to figure out, are there diets that can keep patients in remission longer? And in general, their recommendations were very similar, trying to keep an anti-inflammatory diet, trying to avoid omega-6 fatty acids, increase omega-3 fatty acids, avoid things like corn oil.
Listen to Dr. Laguna. Ditch those corn and soy oils and serve yourself up a plate of fish or add a handful of walnuts to your daily routine. And enjoy improved colon health along with it. Number 5, curcumin and quercetin. Curcumin is the secret weapon of the nutrition world. Found in turmeric, this compound has been shown to have anti-inflammatory effects, lower your risk of heart disease, and prevent certain types of cancer. And it's also your colon's best friend. A small study published in the journal Cancer Prevention Research found that when men with colon lesions added 4 grams of curcumin to their diets per day, they had a 40% reduction in the number of lesions. Other studies have shown that curcumin can even suppress colon cancer cell development. Dr. Greger, a physician and renowned speaker on public health issues, talks about another study. This was conducted in 2006 and published in the journal Clinical Gastroenterology and Hepatology. The study monitored the effects of curcumin and quercetin, which is found in foods like red onions, on a small group of patients who had polyps. If you didn't know already, polyps are bad news because they can turn into colon cancer. Take a look at Dr. Greger's summary of the results.
Between 5 and 45 polyps each, and this is where they ended up after 6 months of curcumin and quercetin supplements.
As Dr. Greger goes on to say, the study participants on average reduced their number of polyps by half and decreased the size of those that remained. Again, while the study was small, it's hugely encouraging for you curcumin and quercetin eaters out there. Lucky for you, turmeric can easily be added to practically any dish. Toss some onto your favourite curry, add it to your scrambled eggs or tofu, even sprinkle some into your favourite smoothie. Your colon will thank you. Guaranteed.